The story of a unique frog. In a quiet, abandoned corner of the world, where old legends whisper in the wind, she appeared. Not a croaker bird from a pond, not a green arrow deftly catching mosquitoes. This frog, contrary to all the laws of nature, was gigantic. The size of a house, it towered over the landscape like an ancient monolith covered in emerald skin. The first photo leaked on the internet caused a storm of emotions. The caption under it read simply, "I'm a frog, that's all." The world froze in disbelief, trying to make sense of what it saw. But perhaps the most amazing thing was her diet. Instead of gracefully hunting insects, this colossal amphibian consumed tons of sand and earth. About 20 kilograms a day. Imagine that. She stands in the middle of the desert, slowly swallowing the dunes like a huge, living excavator. Is it a gift or a curse? A mutation caused by radiation or witchcraft? No one knew. But one thing was clear. Her existence changed everything. Rumors about the giant frog have reached Hollywood. The producers saw the potential for a blockbuster, a thriller, a horror movie. The scriptwriters pored over the plots, painting pictures of the apocalypse, where a huge frog devours cities. And then the memes appeared. Endless variations of "I'm a frog," with different facial expressions and in the most ridiculous situations. The frog house has become a symbol of the absurdity, irony, and endless whimsicality of the world. Her photo, taken with an old camera, continues to roam the web, reminding us that even the most mundane things can hide incredible secrets. Frog eating sand, a symbol of the impossible, embodied in a giant amphibian. Scientists from all over the world have flocked to the habitat of the giant frog. Biologists took samples of skin and mucus. Geneticists tried to decipher its DNA. Geologists analyzed the composition of the soil it absorbed. Versions multiplied like mushrooms after the rain. From an artificially bred organism to an alien from another dimension. But there was no definite answer. The frog continued his meal in silence, as if ignoring everyone's attention. Gradually, fear turned to curiosity, and then to admiration. People started coming to see her with their own eyes. An improvised camp grew up around the frog, where souvenirs with its image were sold, music was played, and people shared their theories about its origin. The frog has become a local landmark, a source of income, and a symbol of hope for a miracle. Some began to claim that the frog cures diseases, others that it brings good luck. People began to come to her, seeking healing and solace. They left offerings. Flowers, stones, amulets. The frog, unknowingly, has become a kind of deity, an object of worship in a world in desperate need of faith. And one day the frog just disappeared, leaving no trace except for a huge pit filled with sand. There were many versions. She was stolen, she went deep into the earth, she disappeared into space. But the truth remained a mystery. The sand-eating house frog has become a legend, a myth that continues to be told around campfires, whispered in the wind and shared online, reminding us that the world is full of mysteries and wonders, and that sometimes the most incredible story can turn out to be true. After the frog disappeared, the camp near the pit was not empty. On the contrary, it has grown into a settlement called Lagashkino. People came here to worship at the empty pit, to leave their prayers and hopes. Shamans and diviners tried to establish a connection with the frog by conducting rituals and meditations. The pit became a sacred place, a portal to another world, where a giant frog was believed to live. The legend of the frog has acquired new details and interpretations. It was said that she returned to her own world, leaving people with only a reminder of the possibility of a miracle. Others claimed that the frog absorbed all the energy of the place and transformed into a part of the earth itself. Sects and cults have emerged that worship the frog as a symbol of fertility, healing, and cosmic wisdom. Froggins was thriving. The pilgrims brought money, goods, and knowledge. The locals developed crafts by creating artifacts related to the frog. Amulets, figurines, paintings. The frog has become a brand, a symbol of the uniqueness and mystery of the region. Over time, the story of the frog house turned into a philosophical parable about faith, hope, and a miracle. It was taught to children, studied at universities, and used in art and literature. The frog has become a metaphor for the unknown, a reminder that the world is full of secrets that will never be revealed. And perhaps it is precisely in this mystery that its true charm lies. However, not everyone was fascinated by the legend. Skeptics and scientists have tried to rationalize the frog's disappearance by putting forward various hypotheses, from geological changes to the effects of unknown forces. They conducted research, analyzed the soil, and measured energy fields, but found no convincing evidence for any of the theories. The frog remained a mystery that eluded scientific explanation. Over time, Laguşko turned from a religious center into a tourist center. People came here not only for pilgrimage, but also to see the place where the giant frog once lived, to feel its special atmosphere. Museums dedicated to the frog were opened in Laguşko, festivals and exhibitions were held, art objects and installations were created. The frog has become a cultural phenomenon that attracts the attention of people from all over the world. But despite its popularity and commercialization, Laguşko retained its mystical atmosphere. In the evenings when the fog was gathering over the pit, it seemed that you could hear a quiet croaking, an echo of the distant past. People came to the pit to be alone with their thoughts, to feel connected to something bigger than themselves. Sometimes on moonlit nights, a faint glow appeared above the pit, similar to the flickering of eyes. It was said that this frog watches people, guards their sleep and sends them his messages. And everyone who saw this glow felt that they had touched a miracle. The frog remained alive in the hearts of people, reminding them that there is a place in the world for faith, hope and dreams.